Sir, Edward Brock Jr., to ask you for one thing. I want you to kill Peter Parker.
See, with Spider-Man, there's always been this deeper level of storytelling going on. Most people get that there's a moral compass in that character. The character kind of represents a character that is spiritually challenged, and he does a good job, like Captain America, not going past that barrier. But encoded in the characters that he fights and the story that's being told is also deeper spiritual ideas.
Maximum Spider.
Most people don't get that the Spider-Man, the actors, are named after the disciples. You have Tom Holland, you also have Andrew, you also have Peter Parker, which is a play on St. Thomas, St. Andrew, St. Peter. These are just recurring concepts, but they're also all based off of rabbit hole characters, where these characters always going down different dimensions. So these characters are also happen to be names of common rabbit stories, like Tommy the Rabbit, Toby. There's a character named Obito or Toby in Naruto that has the same idea where he goes in and out of dimensions. And the same thing is going on with Tom Holland and Tom Hardy, both being Venom and Spider-Man, two characters that go down a rabbit hole. So I've always been under the belief that the top actors, the cast, so you will, are not really auditioning. They're chosen for roles based off of what they represent in the sky. And the difficulty with this is we would need to know every myth and every sky story to kind of associate them with. But I can demonstrate that a lot of characters are playing the same roles throughout different films, almost like they're assigned to the films based off of what they represent. And if you really think about it, they're movie stars. They're called movie stars, like the stars in the sky. So there's a resemblance to something that they're doing in these films that are also playing out something in the sky or personified in whatever stories that they're in. So Peter Parker, Spider-Man. Spider-Man, as I've said before, is a character who's really a rabbit. Even though we see him as a little boy or teenager in Brooklyn or wherever he's from, Queens, he's really a rabbit. And this is for all the spider people. It's just a unique way of hiding a rabbit. This is why he bounces up and down or swings with a little hop. There's so many different plays. If you notice, he's always in different dimensions. Dimensions is a big deal with Peter Parker because he's really a rabbit hole character, just encoded or rewrapped as a spider kid. And as I've shown before, Toby is a character who's a rabbit also. You have the opposite rabbit in Naruto called Toby or Obito. Same kind of idea as Spider-Man. They both go in and out of dimensions. So Harry Osborn is a play on the rabbit concept, just like Peter Parker is a play on the Peter Rabbit story. Whereas anytime you have a rabbit story, there's going to be allies of the rabbit that are other rabbits. And then also a good story to tell is the enemy or enemy, where you have the good rabbit versus the bad rabbit. And often the bad rabbit will learn its lesson with a fatal scar, like the Antichrist kind of scar concept. And you see this in a lot of different rabbit hole stories where you have Kakashi and Obito or Toby, which is Toby Rabbit, like Tobey Maguire, and Kakashi, who's the white rabbit. And Obito goes through the change based off of the fatal blow that he suffers. And that kind of concept is reinforced even in Harry Osborn. And the name Harry Osborn is a play on the rabbit from Oz, like the Badland, the rabbit that came out of the rabbit hole. So, and it's a play on the Wizard of Oz story, which is a rabbit hole story also. You can also say that Harry Potter is a play on Hare, the rabbit, the hare, and he has an opposite of him called Dobby. And Dobby has the invisibility powers, like a lot of rabbit stories will have this kind of invisibility power where the character can disappear or not exist. It's a play on the one of them doesn't really exist as your spirit. It's kind of like the to be, not to be. This is where we get the idea of Toby from.
What master do you serve?
What master do I serve? What am I supposed to say, Jesus?
So in this scene, we have Peter Parker being held at gunpoint by Peter Quill. And both of these are sun-based rabbit characters. Both are kind of a play on the same idea, rabbit hole characters, where Peter Quill is a character who's out of place in the Guardians. He's the only human. And you'll see that he's going to become an Avenger, I think, in the upcoming series, where he's going to be here And so he's a character who's in multiple places. He doesn't belong where he's at. He kind of just hops along tail. So you have Peter Quill at gunpoint to Peter Parker, and Peter Parker is, there's dialogue going back and forth where what master do you serve? Jesus. And it's because these are a play. Both of these characters are a play on Peter the Apostle or the disciple. In the most recent Spider-Man movie that was released, No Way Home, where they had the Trinity of Spider-Mans, and this Trinity idea is very common in the Spider-Man stories, and consider that this one is the St. Thomas Spider-Man actor, and that St. Thomas is associated with the Trinity, so it's almost like this was always planned, the bringing back of the other Spider-Man. But there's a painting called The Calling of the Apostles, where you have Andrew and Peter being called to be apostles. So you kind of see this happen in this film, where you have Spider-Man who is in need of help. He calls the apostles, and they come through the portals or the rabbit holes to see him and assist.
You want forgiveness? Get religion. I forgive you.